abatulaba abatuwuliriza mwebale nnyo okutuwagira era mwebale temujjanga okwo era gwe kwerekeza noteekako ka data ako osobole okutufollowinga n'okulaba kiki tuba tubaleetera mu butuufu tusiima nnyo era tubasiimidde ddala temujjanga okwo nga bwe tutera okwogera nti laba wuliriza yiga so olwaleero mbaleetedde omusajja omusajja akola ku bintu eby'obusuubuzi is an entrepreneur agenda kuba atubuulira ekirungi oba ekibi ekiri mu kukolera abantu abalala n'ebirungi ebiri mu kwekozesa yiwe lwategeddeko lwaki abantu baagala okukolera abalala omusajja ono agenda kukubuulira so tovaawo weewaawo.
Okay.
You're most welcome on our show here.
Thank you.
On Jagstick TV.
Thank you.
You're much more welcome.
Thank you so much.
Abantu baagala okuwulira okuva gy'oli. Soko tubulire baagala okuwulira amannya go n'eki ky'okola.
Okay. Amannya gange mampita Achau Peter. I do personal projects. I do digital designing. Specifically, I design posters. I design business cards and all the graphics. Yeah, but also I sometimes cross the boundaries and I make some products like liquid soap, yogurt. Yeah. But these are things I'm still venturing into. I've just started. Yeah, I've just started and I'm still exploring more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are much more welcome here.
Thank you.
And we're glad to host you. Thank you also for honoring our invitation.
Yeah, most welcome.
We thought that you would not even make it because you were such a busy guy. You know,
yeah.
To have you here, it's not just, we can't take it for granted. So now, people who are listening to us, people who are watching over us here,
yes, please.
They are ready to hear from you.
Okay.
Why? People love to work for than to work for themselves.
All right. Personally, I've been employed for over 8 years.
Oh.
Yeah, and when I may give a few testimonies about myself and then my perspective to employment, because in the past 8 years, before I started the jobs and the businesses, I first had the need for money. Yeah, I had the urgent need for money. And you know, when you don't have capital, you first look around, what can you do? Yes. So for me, I immediately started teaching after my senior 6. I remember my very first employment was census. And because after getting that money, I ate it. I didn't invest it anywhere. Then I started teaching. I had one goal to go to campus, finish my course, and maybe get a job. Yeah, so the way we were groomed in the first place gives us that perspective of studying, finishing, and get employed. Yeah, so for me purposely, when I was studying, I aimed at being a doctor. So I knew that I would be employed. I had no other idea of business. I remember they were forcing me to do commerce. Yeah, they were forcing me to do commerce as a tennis subject in all
in the first place, you never liked commerce.
No.
So you were not a commerce person.
No, I knew I was supposed to be a doctor. So I did commerce and not out of my way.
You did commerce later on, or?
I did it in my O level.
Okay.
Out of force. Because they were like, you may need to take a combination with the economics and all that stuff, you know. So I took commerce for that reason, and for me, I knew I wouldn't be an entrepreneur. I wanted to just go and serve, you know, be paid my good money, yeah, and live a life. So, amidst uh, my struggle with jobs and all that, I remember I was teaching here and there. When I was in Kampala, the money for teaching was always not enough.
But we hear that in Kampala, they have a good paying jobs.
Uh, Jobs are there, but the cost of living is high. So
Okay.
you spend a lot on housing and food, dressing and all that. So you find the net profit here, the net gain is low. Yeah, so when I struggled to finish my campus, now the real life started. But you know, I started forecasting this when I was still at campus. So what if I delay to get a job? You know? But remember, all my heart was at a job. Yeah, I was all aiming at getting a job. So when I finished, when I was still at campus, I remember I started rearing my pigs. I got a piglet. It grew into a sow.
You got a piglet?
Yeah, a young piglet.
How did you get that piglet? You stole it or?
No, I bought it at 100K by then.
Oh,
yeah,
a young piglet costs 100K.
Yeah, so I groomed the piglet for 8 months. It was served, and in 4 months, the piglet had six other piglets. It was a big pig by then. Now it was a sow, and it gave birth to 6. I groomed them for 1 month, and I was able to sell them each at 100. So after again 4 months, the pig could again give me more piglets. So I started the business like that, but it was a short-term business because I was studying. I was trying to back up, you know. I rode the motorcycles and all that, did the boda in Kampala, just trying to push my course. So after the course, now that is when the COVID came in and all that, where papers were not yielding
working.
much money. So yeah, I remember COVID got me in some deep village in some district in eastern Uganda there. I had nowhere to run because it was a lockdown. So that is when I went in to start. I first stripped off my all my ranks of life, you know, my education, put it aside, and then I started burning charcoal.
Wow.
Yeah, I started burning charcoal. I remember I started without capital, but now the wisdom of trade came in. Yeah, I looked at the trees. The other guys had a lot of trees, so I hired the same villagers with their own trees. I worked with them, promised them money, and when I sold the charcoal, I remember we could make very many sacks. We sell the charcoal, we pay them off and all that, pay the owners of the tree. I stay with something for a living. And when that was going on, I collected some money. I started selling fish, buying and selling fish. I moved in every village, and now I ventured deep into the business of fish. By the time they opened lockdown, I was a very big businessman of fish.
Now, Mr. Peter Achau,
Yeah.
I just want to ask you one question.
Yes, sir.
Why now? Now what I'm seeing from you is that what triggered you now to begin venturing into like these stuffs we were talking about? I think it was
Okay.
Was it the lockdown that triggered you into this?
At that moment, I was desperate because of the lockdown. Now, when they opened, I was free to get the job. I got the jobs. I was working in 2 places.
Jobs? Which jobs?
I got school. I got school to teach here in Western Uganda. I came. I was working in a food and nutrition
Now, you
laboratory.
mean that you abandoned the other one of the
So,
piglets, the what?
I stopped everything because I had a mindset that I belonged to employment. not business.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I want to contrast the two things,
Okay.
so that you can get the picture here.
Yes.
When I started working, because I remember in a day of 24 hours, I could rest a minimum of 2 hours and a maximum of 4 hours. So most of the time I spend 20 hours working, 22 hours I'm working, in a day. And I could only have 1 day for sleeping that in a week. So I worked like that. I could get money from my employment, but then I could not even sit down to to start investing with my money. Actually, you find, yes, you have the money in the pocket, but you only wait for people to tell you a problem. That's when you give the money, because you don't have a time when you sit. Sometimes I
To
couldn't
plan for some other things.
yeah, I couldn't plan for myself. Sometimes I don't even eat food. I was very busy because I was trying to gather money from different sources of employment.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so I had that mindset. And then after working, I remember I started working in 2021. By last year, I started seeing the net.
That's where you are being employed.
Yeah, I started seeing the net gain is low. Um, I started thinking of maybe starting a small business. I have inquired from very many people. You find someone of a boda is comfortable. He sleeps, he wakes up in the morning, and he does not do much work. It is not highly logical, and he can save money, which is tangible. For me, who may be earning more than them, I don't have big assets, So I started calculating, and then I realized that these guys, they have time to plan for the little that they get. And on top of that, they have time to grow. Yeah. Because when you are employed, they buy your time.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, they buy your time.
You
and
never even have time to think about
you
yourself.
cannot plan for yourself. You cannot tell me that you are going to plan about the business you are going to run, and when you are a bank teller.
Absolutely.
Will you do that at the bank?
No.
You cannot. You can't plan at the bank. You must leave the bank, go home, take a shower, rest, and
Go
then
back.
start reflecting your life and plan. But now I was a man who was working even day and night. So the time of reflecting about myself, I could again go for another job. Yeah, so I was extremely busy, and everyone could meet me and be like, yeah, this man is busy.
So you are busy for nothing.
Yeah, busy for nothing. So yeah, I sat down and made calculations and here and there, until I later on dropped one job. I got some free time for myself. I started to look for a product with the experience I have in food science, experience I have in graphics and design. I've always been hired by people to make some design. So I started advertising myself slowly. Find you in 2 hours, you've made money that you could struggle for in 24 hours. You make it in 2 hours. So I started seeing that if I focus in this, I can grow. Then recently, I have been I went to the street vendors.
Okay.
I've met them. There is a lady I met, she was frying chips. I asked her about her business, and she told me that she earns an average of 40,000 every day. And this lady comes at 4 p.m. and she leaves at 10 p.m. So she works for 6 hours. Yeah. But in the 6 hours, she makes 40K. So you find in a year, this lady makes a minimum of 1M. And it is, if you go through, I'm not going to mention bank tellers again, because it will look like I'm abusing people now. Yeah, but most of the employments you have, whether teaching, any employment, it's hard to reach 1M. Yeah. So I looked at this lady and she told me she stopped in P7. I saw that much as she didn't go to school, but she's earning more than some people who are learned, you know, and she does not have the she doesn't have the business knowledge that is uh, even applicable to this modern world. Yeah, she has the Asian business skills. So I imagine now someone who did economics and has all that knowledge, if that person entered into business, would make a lot of money. Yeah, make a lot of money. So I I considered to quit the job I was doing and start in the business. So right now,
What do you think that? Because what we know that the big percentage of the people in Uganda,
yes,
let's just consider our country, Uganda, that they love to be employed. Someone can feel happy when he tells when someone tells you that I have a job, he's working for someone. Someone can say can feel okay and very comfortable when he's working for someone, or maybe he's cleaning his house. Say, I thank God. Now I got what to do. I got a job.
yes, yes,
Eh?
yes.
I am working for someone. He feels comfortable and feels okay when he's working for someone. Even if it's just cleaning, maybe the compound or mopping inside the house, he can go on and even give a testimony. I got a job. Now I am working.
Yes.
Tell me, really, is that work? Because there's one of the richest man in China who once said that people love to work for. People are being trained for many long period or for many years to work for, not
Jack
to
Ma.
work for themselves. What is about that?
Of course, like I had already said, I was also trained to work for, and every Ugandan is trained to be employed. Yeah, but
So
you see,
now, okay. So now, how can that be fault?
people are supposed to be given awareness about uh, owning their own ventures. Yeah, there is a wise man who one time told me that the world is a marketplace. He told me the world is a market.
Sure.
You where people buy and sell, and those who buy, they they buy what is having value. They buy a product, and they use money for buying a product. And if you don't have a product, you you have
You are
to
not- you are
sell
selling.
something, in order to live. You either sell yourself, which may include selling your time. Yeah, you can sell your time, sell your freedom, sell something now personal.
I'm sorry to say what I'm going to speak. You people watching, you sorry, excuse me for this. Like the teachers.
Yes,
Okay, I'll give an example like the primary teachers.
yes,
Oh, most of the teachers that can be engaged. Hmm?
yes,
From year to year, and even forgets about to plan for himself, and being given a peanut salary in the morning, like 6 p.m. you need you to be at school.
yeah,
You leave at 10 because
10 p.m.
there are these guys who you want to coach in the night. So you go back at
Maybe
10.
they are adding you maybe
So
plus
and then
that,
by the
plus
time you reach
that.
at home, you are too tired, and
Just
you're going to
sleep.
look at the o'clock. It's already 6. Now you go back
Yeah,
now, and you find that person, the development either in the society or okay, let's leave alone the society, but the
it's personal
the
development.
personal development is too 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 small, because the most of the time he sold it and committed to the vision of that school. And by the way, and you may find even that's the person who started that school is not even a teacher. He has never even done
Yeah,
anything about teaching or what. So for him, he came up with a mind, say, let me begin this business. And I get these guys and I put them there. So they work for me. They work for me. Now tell me, because this thing, it has entered into the minds of the people that they have to work for.
Yes.
You tell him to begin something like doing the pancakes on the, like how he met that lady. That's not a work.
Yeah, he feels he's too high for that job, for that work, you know.
That's not work. That's not
He
work.
feels
That's work.
he's-
So
he cannot see it in as a personal project that can develop.
he feels okay when he's employed somewhere, and time comes, by the way, and it's being this like disqualified, or say we no longer now we want to decrease the number of employees. So and now this guy, when it comes to that,
Yes.
and he faces that challenge, when he has entered into that challenge, and I think that's when he becomes he begins to understand, I need to begin
Actually, he
something. How
starts
can
looking for another job.
Hey, by the even he cannot even think about how
He starts looking
to
for another
begin
job. Yeah.
something for himself. So he goes on to look for another job, just like as you said,
Yeah.
and then he keeps on walking from here to there. Now, do you think that that thing will help us as Ugandans to eliminate the kind of this unemployment or poverty in Uganda, or it's creating more and more?
So when we look at employment itself, yeah, there is a way it locks you up, and you really can't you can't work out for yourself. So there is a man who told me one time that the world is a marketplace. Yeah, the world is a marketplace where you have to buy and sell. So you cannot buy if you don't have money, and you cannot also sell if you don't have a product. So most people who don't have a product, they sell themselves, they sell their time, they sell their love, they sell
their body.
they sell their body even, you know, because you don't have a product. Yeah, but you see, when you have money, you can buy somebody's time to cover you up. Something you were not supposed to, that you were supposed to do, you can delegate someone to work for you, and then you go and do other things. So you can. I was actually, there's a time I was brainstorming about myself. I was like, what if I have my 500k, I start a chapati project here that can earn me 5k a day, only 5k a day.
That's much.
Then I get another one. After like 3 months, I open another one. Yes, I go slowly. I open another one, put there. Yes, I'm employed right now, but maybe any small time I get, I start venturing slowly.
Okay.
So in the long run, when my projects are like 5, I know I get over 25,000 every day. I'm just counting on that small amount of 5k.
Yes.
But of course you can get more. There are very many projects someone can start and get out of employment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Achau, for visiting us. Also, thank you for honoring our invitation. And next time also we shall host you again. As you speak to us, you tell us the words of the wisdom. And I know someone who is watching us over there, you have benefited a lot. You have learned also how to come up from this, the so-called employed. I am employed somewhere. In 1 or 2 words,
Yes.
I want you to speak to someone who is watching us right now, and you speak to him how he can stop from being employed and how he can begin something for himself.
Okay. Thank you so much. Now, the best way, you know, that thing should come from your heart.
Yes.
You have to reason it out. because everyone will advise you to first collect money, because that's what they used to tell me. Don't leave your job before you get another thing to do. So I waited for another thing to do for the next 2 years. I was not seeing, I was not collecting money. The pressure was increasing, responsibility is increasing, until when I started looking for another job. So
Yes.
now when I was looking for another job, I went with a target, because I wanted a job that could pay me 3 times the money I was earning in my previous job.
Okay.
But the job I got wanted to pay me twice. But then that same job wanted to take me away from my other part-time hustles that I had. So in the whole thing, I was seeing I'm going to again become occupied. I needed to be free, because I had already seen that I need time for myself. So I declined the offer, and everyone was surprised. Even the man who got for me the job was like, how can you deny such a job? But for me, I knew that yes, when I get out, I can suffer for a short time, and yeah, I get something for myself. And then when I got out, then I was free to start calculating my things here and there.
Yes.
Yeah, looking at the small that I have and seeing it as the only starting point. Yes. So I started employing my small skills and started with what I know. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, viewers who are watching us, and thank you for taking your time and also listening to us and listening the words of wisdom from Mr. Achau. And I want to tell you that if you continue following us, your life is not going to remain the same, because we are bringing the facts of life. We are bringing to you the facts of life. Watch, listen, and learn. And don't forget to subscribe. Down there, there's a button. Like, subscribe, and also share. We meet next time.